All right, folks, this is for the UVM soccer family. You just won the national championship, and this is a great time to learn how to use an RMT rope because it's so effortless. You just had a long season. There's a few things that this RMT rope can solve. Right, firstly, it stands for rotational movement training. Right, encourage your spine to bend and twist. It was invented by David Weck, W-E-C-K, and he was inspired by the boxer Sugar Ray Leonard. Right, Sugar Ray Leonard wouldn't jump through jump ropes; he would swing them side to side. Right, so why this is important is because if you think about many of the problems soccer players face, it's pain and soreness post-practice, post-games, post-training. It's rehabbing injuries, and then the problem many players don't realize they have is poor running technique. But that's hard to think about, or it's hard to that's right. You don't know what you don't know. So you could also pose the same question: do I know how to teach perfect running technique? Because then that reveals that if you don't think that you do know, then the chance that you do know is very low, right? It's just like anything. It's like do you think you can teach someone how to ride a bicycle? If you can't ride a bicycle, then you probably couldn't teach someone how to ride a bicycle. So this is very important because if you just won a championship, it's hard to shift the mindset of what can I do better, or what can I learn, instead of, if you keep on, right, you want to do this, the things that you're doing great, continue to do those great things, and also elevate, maybe turn some other weaknesses to strengths, and just make it so, maybe do back to back. And I would say the last thing that's very underrated is the anxiety, is the mental aspect. RMT ropes, they really help you go from an anxious, worried, nervous, high stress state into a low, relaxed, smooth, flowing state. Right? There's a quote that I love. It goes that the mind is cloudy, move the body. So if you're just here, swinging from left hand to right hand, right, then you could start to anything you're stressed about. It almost becomes a tool for problem solving, because if you're dealing with multiple problems, or it seems like you're just getting hit by life, this really helps you take a breath, takes pressure off your spine, and allows you just to relax, come up with a decent plan, and take steps moving forward. Realize that it's, there's things that you can do to take action. Oh, what else? I just thought of something. Oh, and the reason why it's hard for strength coaches, the reason why strength coaches might not be incentivized to teach this to their players is because even if you have a dedicated strength coach to your soccer team, right, which most colleges rarely have, right, it'll be one strength coach will have volleyball and tennis and soccer, right? It's like they kind of split it up. So they're being graded by they have a standard curriculum, and to deviate from that standard curriculum, it makes things, it creates almost more problems than it can help solve. And so this is for this reason, okay. So for that reason, if just one person out of all the players and all the coaching staff, and even in the family members of the UVM soccer team, if one person learns the benefits, tests it out. And I'm not saying this is the best thing that can change your life. I'm saying you gotta test it and see for yourself. Right? Just because I say it's true, don't matter. You gotta test it. And the beautiful thing is that a piece of rope, as long as you are tall, there's no barrier to costs. Even two shoelaces tied together, you could begin to feel this power of the RMT rope. Okay, so now let's go over the most important knot, right? And so you go to your local hardware store. I don't know where the closest one around here is, but anyway, so you get some rope, and the width doesn't matter. It's just, right, this is, you kind of want to err on the side of lighter, just so you could begin to feel around. And so the knot you want to learn, if you could only learn one knot, and why knots are important is because you start to make handles which adjust the length of the rope. So if you have like a very long rope, you could create a handle where it becomes more appropriate for someone of a shorter, who's shorter, right? Because if you're trying to swing, learn some patterns, learn the alternating underhand sneak, and you keep scraping the ground unintentionally, it makes learning harder, right? So you kind of want to have it length appropriate for the length of the user within reason. Okay, so this is an important knot, and if you could only learn one, I think this would be the one. So you fold the rope into itself, right? And then you begin to encircle it towards itself. Pull it through, right? Put it through, and then pull down on the other end. Boom, you got yourself a handle. Okay, and so what I like to do is I would like to actually leave one side. I would like to leave one side not knotted, and then one side with a handle, because it changes the way that your grip relates to the whole body. And this is great for a goalkeeper, anyone who has injuries in their fingers, in their hands, in their arms, shoulders. It releases tension in different ways as you begin to swing the rope around. Okay, let's talk about running technique. In terms of running technique, there's one pattern that the founder, David Weck, says that it's super important to learn. And I think this applies to soccer players, right? Because I noticed that when I learned it, my juggling improved, which improved my passing, my shooting, even my dribbling to a degree. It just changes your running mechanics in a subtle but powerful way. So let's begin. Most times when people jump rope, they usually start from behind and swing forward. To learn the alternating underhand sneak, you're going to start with the underhand swing, so the opposite direction of traditional jump rope. Let's do left hand, since left-hand players don't get as much love, or left-footed players. So underhand swing, right? Opposite direction of a traditional jump rope. You take your opposing hand, reach around the back. Right, you're here, slide it down. Even like this, just doing this is going to open up your chest and improve running technique. If this is only as far as you can get. Then we're going to go here. Double handles, go double behind the back. And then from here, you want to drill this. I had to drill this for 3 days straight. 3 days straight. Every spare moment I had, double behind the back. Right? You can start to feel, even right now, I start to feel some tension. I'm getting some tension relief in my back. You kind of shop around where the tension is in your body, so you can get into it and then get out of it. Then from here, it's over. Right? And then so from here, why it's so powerful, why it teaches perfect running technique is because it forces you to whip your arms down and pop that knee up at the same time, right? And you're doing this in a harmonious, right? It all happens together at the same time, right? So one more time with the steps, right-handed, underhand swing, reach that arm behind the back, elbow, slide down wrist. And it's not gonna feel right. It will feel not natural if you've never done this before. So here, double handles, and then it's boom, 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 over, and then you can start to really get into it. It's moving. Breathing, bending, twisting, relaxing, right? It's moving meditation. And so I've been calling this RMT rope, it's like having a soccer gym in your pocket, right? It's hyper portable, and it's changed my life personally, and I think that's why the UVM soccer family will appreciate it. So hopefully this helps. Reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.